Merry Christmas, everyone. Over the holidays, I've been asked a lot about how Interactive Brokers, or IBKR's website, has just been blocked in the Philippines. Let me share a few quick thoughts. To give you an idea, the BSP has actually been cracking down on all of these non-registered places which are typically crypto platforms, but apparently, mukhang nadamay na rin yung Interactive Brokers. Now, IBKR is actually a legitimate platform abroad based in the US where you can buy and sell stocks, ETFs, funds, bonds globally. Now, that's also regulated by the US, but apparently in the Philippines, there is no actual regulation or registration with the SEC or the BSP here. Now, here's the thing. This is actually aligned, and it does make sense with what BSP has been doing. They've been cracking down on illegal ways of putting money out of the Philippines, or essentially money laundering. As you all recall, no, ever since the flood control scandal, they've made it harder to deposit and withdraw physical cash over 500,000 pesos. And they've been really blocking all of these other platforms or investment vehicles which are not registered with the BSP and the SEC here in the Philippines, which, to be honest, IBKR is not. The difference kasi with the recent bans of, let's say, eToro, another famous investment platform, they had a lot of cryptos and other assets. eToro actually marketed here in the Philippines, at least from what I saw, no? So they were soliciting Filipino investors. IBK, on the other hand, from what I've seen, has not actually solicited, or they do like what they call a reverse solicitation. Essentially, it's Filipinos who say, hey, I researched that IBKR is a legitimate platform, and they just send money there and they open an account there. So IBKR doesn't seem to have actually marketed or solicited funds from the Philippines, which could be the reason why BSP has not given a formal notice saying that we are banning IBKR, and went through like a backdoor way of telling the NTC to block it on the website access. Now, what does this mean for you, and what are the possible paths for IBKR now for Filipinos? So number one, maybe Interactive Brokers will register here, similar to these other platforms that have been legitimized here in the Philippines. But if you ask me, highly unlikely. Option 2, status quo, nothing changes. So blocked lang tayo on the website, though you can still maintain your positions legally, effectively gray area from a legal standpoint, because there's no real basis naman for BSP to shut them down right now. However, the risk there is you'll need to use VPNs or other ways to kind of, be able to access your account or get your money. Number 3, IBKR may be forced to close. Now, there are two options for this. There's the Charles Schwab, another US broker who actually changed a few years back. What they did was, I'm not gonna service Filipinos anymore. If you have an existing account here, you can maintain. But if you want to add any funds or buy any new stocks or funds, bawal na. Before, I had a TD Ameritrade account, which is also now linked, same with Charles Schwab. Decided to pull money out kasi hassle, you can't buy. Or it could be like an eToro. Mukhang wala pa namang ganung, the likelihood isn't high for an outright ban like eToro, but I'm not saying it's impossible. It is still possible. In both of those cases, it's likely that there will be formal notice from either the BSP, the SEC, or even from Interactive Brokers themselves saying that we are no longer allowing Filipino citizens to use our services, so you'll have till X date to liquidate and pull out, or could be like a Charles Schwab na you just can't add. So what does that mean for you, and what should you do about it? In both of those cases, just realize that unlike yung eToro, so far right now, it's not a formal ban, so you're not at risk naman of losing all your money or never being able to access it. Though right now there are additional difficulties, you have to probably use VPN to access your money. So if you're someone who just tried it out for some amount of cash there, you don't really monitor the markets, you're very kind of risk averse or kind of worried, it stresses you out, it might be better off pulling the money out and placing it in an alternative global investment access channel, whether it's through the feeder funds that are available in your local brokerage accounts or banks that do charge some additional fees, or if you have another offshore account that allows you to do that, but have the proper registration and papers here in the Philippines. Because if not, then you might be doing the same thing right after that. Ako personally, I actually have an IBKR account. I'm on a wait and see mode. I haven't pulled it all out just yet, though I am monitoring the situation closely to see, okay, I'll just keep things as is. But for me, it's very unlikely to add any more money in there. If anything, I am open to pulling it out completely and just maybe sticking more to the feeder funds, which is where a bigger chunk of my wealth is anyway. So hope it helps.